And we're back with some more Baldur's Gate 3 as our monk Neo finally makes landfall. So, I have played Baldur's Gate 3 before, as I said in the last video, but I've never played before as the Dark Urge, so that will all be new and fun. Despite that, we are going to be trying to play a good guy, a reformed hero type, as seems to be most appropriate. I like our look. I think I got Neo looking pretty good. Simple, but
once you are free of the mind
exotic and monkly.
Your past is still
if I can use monkly as a word.
If you don't find a way to remove the tadpole burrowed in your brain soon, your future will be as blank as your past. Your head whispers vengeance. You cannot wait to slice your way forth, seeking whatever wrought this tragedy upon you.
Okay, and the next step for us is getting the band together. So let's start going alpha and gathering up our companions.
Drink in the pungent.
And this is different.
Since you awoke on the ship, your mind has been
Please don't eat the body or do anything too inappropriate with it.
Something stirs. With your hands close to this body, you know nothing of why, but you find a half smile flittering across your face.
Intelligence isn't exactly our thing, but it's better to be lucky than good.
As soon as you delve into your mind, it is filled with flashes of 1,000 different dead. There is something unknown and unspeakable deep within your heart.
So I think I'm going to journey around with some more of the, I don't know, calling them your good companions is maybe unfair. Especially as some of the revelations and journeys some of them go on. But, well, let's just say possible? I'm kind of sick of Shadowheart's shit.
I remember the ship.
She's a lot to put up with at the start. She really is. I mean, Shah is such a stupid god. Just like
you might want to
painfully dumb.
Her a friend.
To imagine that large groups of people ever get together and go, yeah, let's worship Shah, that'll work fine.
You're more concerned for her than she is for you, clearly.
Oh,
we need to take
spoilers,
care of
I guess. She hasn't even told us she's a Shah worshiper yet, although I assume her costume would be quite
we might have escaped, but we
quite
still have
obvious.
these little monsters in our heads. We need each other, and we both know what's at stake. Can't think of better company.
Well, you don't have a lot of choice at the moment.
One thing, just before we go. I wanted to thank you again for freeing me.
Yeah, it's what I do, darling.
It would have been all too easy for you to run right past my pod, but you didn't. I'll remember that. Lead the way.
If not over, then through.
Okay, we'll scav this beach really quickly. Every time I pick up herbs in this, it gives me Witcher 3 flashbacks. Okay, so we are playing on Tactician difficulty, so even I think 3 of these little things could actually be a bit rough for our level 1 character, so let's at least try to get ourselves some high ground before we engage. That's a good shot.
Better stay back. One strike
Nothing wrong with that as an opening shot. Okay, another good shot. That'll swing the fight drastically in our favor, taking one of them out before it can attack. Yep, got lucky there too. So we're trying to back up after our shots to make the range worse for the bad guys, maybe even get out of line of sight.
Heading there.
Shadowheart is not a great shooter. All of these things have such low armor class. I mean, and why not? They're squishy little brains. Really, arrows should not be bouncing off them, but should be really doing horrific things to them. Can I get down there? Probably easier just to shoot. Yeah. Yeah, easier just to shoot from up here. Take the high ground bonus and everything. Not quite dead yet. I should probably have thought to dip my weapon in fire or something like that.
You fight well.
There we go,
Perhaps our
level
survival
2.
isn't such a
So
distant
at some
prospect.
point, well actually we can't expect Shadowheart yet, can we? We've got to go find Old Man Withers. But yeah, suffice to
Mind
say
my step.
the trickery domain is just awful, at least at
I've got one
low
of those
levels. Maybe
brain
its high level
things
stuff is
cornered.
moderately okay.
There, in the grass. You can kill it, can't you? Like you killed the others?
Yeah, we'll play the hero. How'd we get cleaned up?
There.
Maybe we cleaned up on
Can you
level
see
up.
it?
We're looking distinctly less gore splashed as we were on the beach. Oh, it's a trap.
Not a sound.
His plan here isn't a very
Not if you
good
want to
one.
keep
Like,
that darling neck of yours.
there's 2 of us.
And you, keep your distance. No
that
need
looks-
for this to get messy.
That looks a bit painful.
I need him alive. Stow that blade, or I'll show you just how messy things can get.
Throw that
Promises,
blade, or she'll cast
promises.
Sacred Flame at you
But I
several
have other
times,
business,
and you will
I'm
save
afraid.
every single time.
Now, I saw you on the ship, didn't I? Nod? Splendid. And now you're going to tell me exactly what you and those tentacled freaks did to me. Don't lie to me.
Not a lot of hair physics
Your
going on
mind
there.
twists.
But you know what?
You're
You can't
looking
have
out of
everything.
unfamiliar eyes, prowling
Neo's hair
dark,
looks perfect.
busy streets. You try to hold the memory, but it fades to the worm, the light, the fear.
What was that? What's going on?
Pretty good roll.
I saw into your mind. They took you. Just the same as me. And to think, I was ready to decorate the ground with your innards. Apologies. A kindred spirit. My name's Astarion. I was in Baldur's Gate when those beasts snatched me. A pleasure. So, do you know anything about these worms? Turn us into... Of course it'll turn me into a monster. What else did I expect? Although, it hasn't happened yet.
The
If we
companions in
can
this
find an
game
expert,
are pretty
someone
great.
that can control these
I
things,
mean, they
there
definitely
might
have their own
still be
personality,
time.
and they all have their monkeys on their
You know,
backs and their crosses
I was
to bear.
ready to go this
The
alone.
poor fellas
But maybe
and
sticking
ladies
with
have
the
really got a
herd
lot going on.
isn't such a bad idea. And you seem like a useful person to know.
And I guess that's where playing with the
All
playing as a
right.
Dark Urge
I
is.
accept.
I've heard other people say
Lead
probably
on.
the
As
way
he
it's
joins
expected
your
to play the
side,
game.
Your mind
because
dances with thoughts of a perfect,
yeah, things like
pretty
that.
corpse.
You know, it gives you that taste of being damned on multiple levels, just like your friends.
Can't slow down.
There. A mind flayer. And it's hurt.
That thing's bound to be dangerous, even if injured. Best be careful.
You
What if there's any
approach the
unique
dying
interactions if you're
monster.
Lae'zel here?
This is the
Yeah,
thing
she obviously
that
has some,
abducted you. You
very,
could end
very
its life here
deep
and now.
enmity
if
with
only
mind flayers.
You didn't feel compassion. Compassion.
Passion.
You can't move, can't think. Think mercifully done for you. It will be a joy to serve, to die for it, an honor.
let's not let it eat our
possessing
brain.
your mind, forcing you to love it, but then the feeling slips. The creature's mind seems to focus elsewhere. The monster lies exhausted, defeated. Its eyes, wet orange pearls, radiate malice.
On my way.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about leaving the mind flayer. We should probably go back and kill it in case some child stumbles across it. Maybe it already just dies off screen.
Magic glitters and swirls from it erratically, as if malfunctioning. It looks slightly dangerous.
Lick it. The option to lick it would have been funny.
A hand? Anyone?
Literally. Alright, let's get him out of here without fantasizing about hacking at the hand off. Guidance is just overpowered. When I play in the tabletop, I've gotten in the habit of changing guidance and bless and things like that from a D4 to just a flat 2. A bonus of 2, just to save time, just to cut down on unnecessarily rolling. I know some people like rolling, they feel like they're more engaged with the game while they're rolling dice. That is not my my point of view of things.
Hello. I'm Gale of Waterdeep. Apologies. I'm usually better at this. At magic. Say, but I know you, don't I? In a manner of speaking. You were on the North Lloyd as well. I don't know what transpired exactly, but the ship broke into pieces and I suddenly found myself in freefall. As I was plummeting to certain death, I spied a glimmer quite near where I estimated my body to impact with less than savory propulsion. Recognizing this glimmer to be magical in nature, I reached out to it with a weaving of words and found myself on the other side, as it were. How about you? How did you survive the fall?
Yeah, not sure. I'm actually not sure what the canonical explanation for our...
But even so, I have the unfortunate suspicion your survival is still very much in jeopardy. Back on the ship, you too were on the receiving end of a rather unwelcome insertion in the ocular region. Were you not?
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
No use sugarcoating it, is there?
Yeah, you could
The
sugarcoat it a
insertee we
little.
speak of, this parasite, are you aware that after a period of excruciating gestation, it will turn us into mind flayers? It's a process known as ceramorphosis, and let me assure you, it is to be avoided. You don't happen to be a cleric by any chance, do you? A doctor? Surgeon? Uncannily adroit with a knitting needle?
You seem to know enough about our condition to realize it's beyond most clerics' skills.
Most, no doubt, but I find myself hoping to be in the presence of the few. You don't happen to be one of them. And it looks like we're both starved for answers. We're most certainly going to need a healer, and soon, too. How about we lend each other a helping hand once more and look for a healer together? Most excellent. A parasite shared is a parasite halved. Or something to that effect. Oh, but before you think you're about to embark on a journey with most ill-mannered a man, thank you for pulling me out of that stone. It was an act of
I like that he
foresighted
gets around to
kindness,
thanking
I
you.
assure
It's a
you.
nice, simple touch.
I have the feeling ample
That's good for his
opportunities
character.
will present themselves for me to return.
He's thoughtful.
So, we've picked up a wizard who managed to get stuck in his own portal. Hardly a promising introduction.
As opposed to Starry here, who's more sassy and acerbic. Okay, so now that we have Gale,
Best be
level
on
2
my way.
Gale, we can get some long strider on everybody. Which is kind of huge.
Zoro was right. Yellow as a toad, twice as ugly. The thing's dangerous. Leave it for the goblins to kill.
And if it escapes, how will you... Oh, a guest.
Your skull pounds in response to the prisoner's white-hot stare.
So I think this demonstrates one of the weaknesses of just Dungeons and Dragons in general, that yes, everyone here just happens to speak common. We all just speak the same language. Why not? And it really is just at that hand wave level of meh, just ignore it. You know, when obviously the game does have comprehend language spells and just people who speak multiple languages and all sorts of stuff. You know, maybe Lae'zel could use her astral knowledge ability to just suddenly pick up your language.
We can't just...
Hells, this isn't worth it. I'm out of here.
Enough gawking. Get me down.
Pretty sure you could just climb out of that now that I think about it. Like, that is not the most secure cage.
The tadpole hasn't yet scrambled all your senses. Auspicious. But the longer we wait, the more it consumes.
So I'm thinking I'm going to travel around with
people possess the cure for this
Will,
infection.
Karlach,
I must find
and
a creche.
Gale
You
probably
will join me.
for much of this, but we'll definitely be subbing people
She
in and
obviously
out for
sees your
their
kindness as
more
weakness.
pertinent
Don't let
moments.
her take advantage.
Although I don't think I'll leave Gale as
It
a
is
wizard.
many
I do
things.
not like 5th
A
edition
hatchery,
wizards.
a training
Partly
ground,
because I don't
a
like stopping to
shelter.
long rest.
Githyanki
Almost
protocol
ever.
is clear.
You
When
know,
infected
we'll
with a
probably
cave
do one
tadpole,
long
we
rest
must
in the middle of
report
Act
to
1,
Augusta
maybe.
for purification.
So yeah, so wizard doesn't really thrive in that environment.
You are full
We'll
up.
probably, I'm
Dismiss
thinking of
your
switching
weakest
Gale over to a
warrior.
cleric. Sorry, Lae'zel, I'm talking over here. We'll probably switch Gale over to a
Very
cleric, but we do
well.
need to meet old men
But
wizards
heed
for that
my
first.
words. The Horned Ones mentioned a camp. One there, this Zoru, has seen Githyanki. A creche must be near. I must interrogate this Zoru. Our very lives depend on it. I will be at your camp.
She's got a plan.
Do
That's
not
good.
keep me waiting.
Okay, so we actually did sub Gale
I
out
hear
there and
shouting
we'll
up ahead.
take
We
Lae'zel
should
with
check
us
it
for a
out,
little bit.
but be
She can
careful.
wield that flaming sword we picked up off the ship. That will be much more effective at the moment than Gale chucking some cantrips. And here we get to probably the second
Open the
big
bloody
fight of the
gate!
game.
Nobody gets in! Zevlor's orders! That pack of goblins will be on us any second! What's going on? Goblins are
I'd
on
like
our
there to be
tail!
more big
Open the
set-piece
gate,
battles
Zevlor, now!
in Baldur's
You
Gate.
let goblins here!
You know, it's hard to
Where
do in
is
pen
the
and paper to
druid?
have, 15, 30 bad guys on the
Please,
field all
there's
worth throwing
no
initiative and hit
time.
points and spells and stuff. Like, it's really hard to keep track of that sort of stuff, whereas in a computer game, it's trivial. I have noticed in Baldur's Gate, if you do have too
Nine
many
hells!
people,
Open the gates!
yeah, you can get some processing issues where they take a long time to decide where they're moving, what they're doing. Yeah, especially like they get tangled on top of each other and struggle to deal with multiple levels. I mean, this is only at the extreme. Like, I think I accidentally got in a fight with 30 Flaming Fist in the game I'm playing with my friends, and yeah, they were really struggling to not trip over each other.
Damnable roach!
Provoke the blade.
Provoke the blade! And suffer its sting.
Expect a big, like, glint of light off his teeth there or something. Okay, well, that 12 damage almost one-shot us. That's why I never would start a D&D campaign at level 1 anymore. Level 2, you just have so much more survivability. People aren't going to get their character one-shot and have to sit out for the next 2 hours watching other people do things. Do we stop and drink a potion, or do we let that be the healer's problem? As a general rule, I would say let that be the healer's problem. Yeah, let's see if we can push onwards. Always onwards. Although we're not having much luck with our strikes at the moment. Yeah, so Shadowheart goes before any more bad guys. She can top Neo up a little. Yeah, and these guys are bows, so we can just walk away from them. Bit of a weird mechanic there that you can walk away from someone who's got a bow out, even though on their turn as a free action they could have just pulled their sword out. I won't always remember to do that. So it is technically worth doing. You know, it's not like Shadowheart's going to suddenly have an opportunity attack provoked up there. Sometimes I'm sure the NPCs just move for the sake of moving, just to make things look more dynamic, even though the spot they were in is just as good as the spot they ended up in. Hit, that was also a good hit. 65%, not great.
On the move.
A better chance of shooting. No, okay, we're high ground shooting, but Azel's not as dexterous. It's an action surge, but doesn't feel like we're in the most dangerous situation at the moment. Although action surge is only a short rest, so it's not that big a deal. So I don't know, with Baldur's Gate 3, are there some people who just like short rest after every fight? And when they can no longer short rest, they just long rest? Like, is that a thing people do?
Let's find some prey.
Oh, good shot. Well done.
I wonder if this is worth the cost.
Okay, starting to run out of bad guys. We got 3 left, I think. Maybe 4. Yeah, don't want to trip over this grease. Yeah, again, that little shot, then move again. Almost feels like doing it just cause they can. A lot of crits on NPCs here. Not quite dead, but the battle is won. Okay, we've got 1 left.
Still on my feet.
2 left. Yeah.
I'll strike you down.
I can't wait till we get to level 4. And our monk can start doing some real damage.
Got to press on.
Yeah, I don't know. I do know about throwing healing potions at people. I would never allow that in a pen and paper game. It's just, that's too much. You know, unless somehow they were specifically designed for that. In which case, I wouldn't make them look like a potion. That would look a bit dodgy. A little on-impact rune type thing, maybe. I don't know, just the idea of dunking a healing potion on the ground next to someone and then at their leisure they sort of wander into it and heal. That is overly friendly. At least if the bad guys used it a lot more,
now.
But at least it might seem integrated and fair at the moment. Nah. Oh, there we go. Last hit for
That
Neo.
was the last of them. Inside! All of you! More may follow!
Okay, well that
Open
gets
the
us into
gate!
the Emerald Enclave.